this is something I hear constantly about, is how since COVID, all you see out here in LA are random acts of unkindness.
Oh, yeah.
Unkindness, so the floor is
I
yours.
just think, my 2 cents again, since COVID, I think people have become more, I don't know, they're just not rotten, but they don't care about people. They don't care about the little things that would just come naturally to somebody, like holding the door for someone. If you go to the grocery store, holding the door, they let the door slam. Or my sister works in an office and patients come in and they're just rude. They just talk to her as though she's just a non-person. People don't have any, they don't know what kindness is anymore. I think that's a big thing. And what blew me away was I was at the gas station on Saturday and I was filling.
Here we go.
Here we go.
He was
filling
handsome.
He was handsome. I don't know.
Handsome.
He was.
Yeah.
I was filling the gas in my car. Normally, I have gloves because I don't like to get my hands dirty by touching the gas pump. So I didn't have the gloves in that car. So I took paper towels and I was holding it, and this man was getting his gas right next to me. And all of a sudden, he walked
you said
over.
He was a black guy.
He was a handsome
black man.
Yes. He came over and he said, here, I just wanted, here you go. Yeah. And he looked and he gave me a wet nap cloth.
Oh, that's very nice. That was a random act of kindness. Yeah.
And I was so taken aback. And I said, thank you so very much. And then he said, no problem. And then he pulled away. I said, thank you again for being so kind. And he said, my pleasure. Have a nice day.
Did you get his number?
No. He said, I'll see you here next week, Saturday, same time.
Same time, Saturday.
But that was something that, to me, was a kind thing.
I agree.
I've done kind things for people.
Do.
I've been at the grocery store, and they had all the construction workers. They were working, and the guy forgot his wallet, and he bought a soda, and I was behind him, and he said, oh, God, I don't have my wallet. I said, I'm going to treat you to the soda. I've done that.
I didn't know that one, but that's a good one.
I mean, why not?
All right.
But people don't have that in them anymore.
No.
That's what I find.
So when we walk her at the Century City Mall on Saturday afternoons, packed with people, walking dogs, and a lot of tourists. Yeah. And tourists occasionally will ask her, because she's the mayor of that mall, she knows everything about that mall, every shopkeeper, every location. And it's a little complex because it's just 2 floors,
2 levels.
I guess. 2
third
levels.
level is the gym.
Yeah, okay, 3rd level. And Italy still has 3rd level.
Yeah.
But a tourist can say, hey,
well, I see them if they're looking, but they look like they're looking around and they don't know. I always go up to them and say, hey, I know this mall. Can I help you try to find something?
And if needed, she will leave us to take them by the hand and take them where they need to go.
That, to me, is something that you're helping somebody out. I mean, I just think that it's something nice to do for people, but people don't do anything nice anymore for people.
Okay. And you think it started with COVID?
I think it was since after COVID. I think people they ended up getting just rotten. I don't know, maybe from being isolated and maybe feeling as though you got me sick. I was okay.
That's true.
I think that there's a resentment.
I agree.
Against people.
I see the backlash of that in road rage driving out here in LA. I had a terrible one on that, but
guy whipped out the gun.
He was completely psycho. Guy pulled the gun on me.
That's crazy.
In road rage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Came walking toward my car at a stoplight.
That was a bad scene.
Yeah. The point is, I don't know if he knew who I was, quote unquote, or not. I don't know. But it was almost like he was devil sent.
I don't think he knew who you were. I think he just was a
demon. He was a nut.
Yeah.
And yet we argue about you hate the drivers out here because you say they're bad drivers. They're actually very good, skilled drivers. They're very good at controlling their cars, but they if I can pardon my language, they're mostly assholes. And
they're not good drivers.
Men or women, they
throw away rules.
They just cut in front of you without apology.
And I walk a lot, and when I'm walking, and if I have a green light to walk, they don't care. They just keep going. And I'm like, do you not see me walking? They have no consideration for somebody who walks. They turn in the middle of the street, in the middle of where you're not supposed to be turning around to do a U-turn.
They do.
They pull around right in front of you while you're driving. If you're at a red light and you're waiting for the light to turn green and the light turns green, they honk before you can even get your foot on the gas from the brake. So they're just insane. But that goes with the whole rudeness.
So are all the New York City cab drivers.
I'd rather be a New York City cab driver.
But it's like everybody here is a New York City cab driver. Everybody on the road
without the skill. Yeah.
I do think they're skilled, but I'm sort of stereotyping skill.
Oh, and how many times do you call me and you're coming home from somewhere? Do you believe what this guy just did? You and I say to you, it's L.A. Why do you think they call it L.A. with crazy drivers?
There'll be 3 lanes of packed traffic, of gridlock traffic, and some guy will try to enter into the right lane and then keep honking and just cut through lane after lane after lane so he can go all the way into the 4th lane, the left turn lane, to make a left turn, which becomes a U-turn. And I'm like, the audacity of that, the balls that took.
And what do I say? Welcome to L.A. That's what I say to you all the time. But the act of, unkindness, I think it's just now. You have to accept people are not going to be nice to you.
They're not even random anymore. They're consistent.
No, that's just consistent. So that's my beef.
Okay.